when the initial point of the vector is at the origin. When the initial point of the vector is at the origin. And when that's true, we're going to write this in component form as A and B. It's just like we were counting, right? It kind of works like slope. Over and up or down and over. The magnitude is like the Pythagorean theorem. And the direction angle Okay, so on the first problem, first of all, we have a positive x and a positive y. So the positive x and positive y would put us in which quadrant? Okay, so I'm going to be in the first quadrant. So first of all, to find the magnitude, we're going to do 7 squared plus 24 squared. So the magnitude of R is 25. Okay, now everybody do the inverse tangent, right? The tangent of theta equals 24 over 7. So everybody get an angle. So I got 73.739. How many of you got that? So, well, I'm asking everybody to do it because if yours isn't working, it's probably in radians. Okay? So, if you didn't get 73.739, push the shift button at the top and then go all the way across. And you see the mode setup button. Push that. And number 3 should say it is degrees. Make sure to push 3. Because you're probably in radians. And so it should change your answer to 73.739. Okay. So y'all, before I go on, so we're used to doing this in radians, right? And we could name the first 1 pi in the first quadrant. The second quadrant is 1 less. The third is 1 more. And then the fourth is 2 times minus 1. But 73.739, that's in degrees, right? So we go from 0 to 90. This is 180. This is 270. And then back to 360. Magnitude and the direction angle on the second one. Everybody find the magnitude and the direction angle on the second one. be on the theta by now. Even my scratches red from yelling already. It's only 13. You have an answer? Why not? On your phone. This is right. Okay, so which quadrant is this? 72 and 30. Okay. Okay, so for magnitude, it should have gotten 3.162. Okay, next, I want the direction angle. And which quadrant is negative and negative? Third, right? So I need to end up in the third quadrant. So when I find my theta, I'm going to do the inverse tangent of -1 over -3. And when I do that, I get 18.435. Did anybody else get 18.435? What did you get? Did you do -1 or you did 1 over 3? No, I got 18.435. Okay. So 18.435, y'all, which quadrant is that in? It's in this quadrant right here. But which quadrant do I want to be in? Okay, friends, everybody put your phones down. Put them down. Put a calculator in your hand. Okay. So if this is in the first quadrant, but I want to be in the third quadrant, how much do I have to add to get around to here? 180, because it's on a straight line. So you have to add 180, so your theta ends up being 198.435. Okay, so the next one, I have positive x, negative y. Which quadrant? Correct? So when I find the magnitude, I'm going to do 8 squared plus -12 squared. And my magnitude equals 14.422. So then we're going to do the inverse tangent, and it's -12 over 8. And the theta that it spits out is -56.309. So -56.309, which way does that go? Up or down? Is negative up or is negative down? Down. So it's here. This is my negative. But I want a positive answer. I want positive. So if this is negative, how much do I have to add to go all the way around to make it positive? 360, because it's a whole circle. So the theta is 303.69. Which quadrant? Negative x, positive y. This is the second quadrant. Okay, everybody get it? Okay, I assume everybody got the magnitude, okay? And then the inverse tangent, you should have come up with negative 28.610. Okay, y'all, negative 28.160 is here, right? Which quadrant do I have to be in? So second is here. So how much do I have to add? 180. So your theta ends up being 151.39. Okay? Is everybody okay so far? Okay, on the back. So if the vector is not at the origin, if it's not at the origin, the second point, if it's at the origin, is 0, 0. So if it's not at the origin, we're going to write our vector like this. We're going to take the second minus the first. So, and when we do this, we call it component form. Component form. So we're going to have component form, magnitude, which is the square root, and then the theta, which is the inverse tangent. So if I want the component form for CD, we write it with the little funny bracket, right, the pointy brackets. And so I'm going to take x2 minus x1. Well, which one of these is x2? The C or the D? The D, because the D is listed second. That's my second point. So I'm going to take 6 minus 3, and then 3 minus 5. So the component form of CD is 3, negative 2. Okay, you all do the next one. Okay, any questions on component form? Second minus first. Magnitude is like the Pythagorean theorem. And then the tangent is the y over x. So, on number 7. Thank you. On the second one, what do you have to do before you start? You have to have component form. So my A, B is going to be negative 4 minus 9 and negative 1 minus a negative 3. And what do I do to minus the minus? It becomes add. So my AB is going to equal negative 13 and 2. So that's my component form, negative 13 and 2. So which quadrant is negative x, positive y? Second. So we need to be in the second quadrant. Okay, so find the magnitude and the direction angle and see if you can end up in the right magnitude. The magnitude? I got 13.153 for the magnitude. Oh, yeah. And then the inverse tangent of 2 over negative 13, it was negative 8.746, which puts me here, Where do I want to be? So what do I add? I add 180, and that ended me at 171.254. Okay. So now, if it's on a graph, do you think it gets harder? No. What is this point right here? 1, 2, 3. Is that 4, 1? And this point is negative 1, 4. So now can we find the component form? And then we can find the magnitude, and then we can find the direction, correct? So the component form is 5, negative 3. So if that's the component form, it's positive x, negative y. Which quadrant am I looking for? I'm looking for the fourth quadrant. Bless you. My magnitude is 5 squared plus negative 3 squared. And that gives me 5.831. And my direction angle is the inverse tangent of negative 3 over 5. And that makes my theta negative 30.964. Y'all, negative 30.964 puts me here. So it's a negative. Which quadrant do I want to be in? 4, but I don't want negative. I want positive. So what do I have to add? I'm coming all the way around, so 360. So if I do that, I end up with 329.036. Okay, any questions there, y'all? Component form, magnitude, and direction. Okay, so the last thing I want to talk about is the equivalent vectors. Equivalent vectors. So on AB, you have to find the component form. So AB, I need the component form, and that would give me negative 7 minus a negative 3, and negative 2 minus 6. So the minus is positive. So my AB is negative 4, negative 8. And if I do the same thing with my CD, I'm going to do minus 9, minus 3. Oh, sorry. I was off one, y'all. Minus 1. And then minus 9 minus a negative 1. And the minus becomes positive. So I end up with negative 4, negative 8. These are equivalent if these match. Negative 4, negative 8, they match. So AB is equal to CD. If you trust me on the next one, which I'm not sure I would if I were you, I get 9 and negative 6 for the first component form. And my second one is 9 and 6. Do those match? They're not the same, so AB is not equivalent to CD. Okay, y'all. There's no homework tonight. We're gonna work day tomorrow on this. But where are the test corrections? There's 2 parts. Where's the first part? When is that due? Friday at what time? 8 a.m. And then there's the written part. Schoology, you have to bring me the completed ones, and then I'll let you retest. And when do you retest? Math time, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. After that, it's done.